Suzi, first thing I want to say is happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
It's no secret, you just turned 70 years old. It's unbelievable. You
I
look
never keep,
phenomenal.
I never keep it a secret. No, I'm not makeup on here. We've been recording all day, so here I am. 70, not bad. I've never kept a secret about it. I'm actually very proud to be my age,
You
proud to
should
be doing
be.
what I'm doing. I've never hid it. I announce it from the stage.
There
This
you
is a
go.
secret. Everybody always says, "What's your secret of looking young?" I say, "Because I don't give a shit."
Yeah. But the thing I've noticed about you is the documentary was phenomenal.
It's a good one.
Phenomenal. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I've watched it like 3 times. Um, I think it was long overdue
Yes,
for
it
you
was.
to,
But
for
everything
it to
happened.
be out.
You know what, though? I'm a believer in everything happening when it's supposed to. So this is my time.
Mm,
It's okay. This is my time. I take it.
yeah, and it's doing quite well on Amazon, I understand, right?
It's amazing, and America's discovered me all over again, and it's been saturation coverage, rave reviews, and everybody like they've discovered me all over again. So that's a nice feeling, you know. That's a nice feeling. Welcome being 70, if that's what you get.
Hey, and you've been out there rocking for what, like 55 years, something like that? More?
56 years.
56 years. You have not stopped. And I've watched some of your recent performances on stage, and you're out there still killing it.
Well, why you shouldn't go out there unless you are going to kill it.
In the documentary, there's one of the things that they said to you is, how long do you think you'll do this? When you were very young, you said, as long as they keep coming to see me, and as long as and until I'm old and wrinkled, if they keep coming to see me.
I'm
So
I'm I'm not anywhere near ready to stop. I'm now doing the shows that I've dreamed about doing for a long time, even though I've done great shows my whole time. But now I'm doing my 2-hour shows with an interval, just solo shows, and sit down venues, big iconic theaters, and so you can take them from the beginning of the career right up to the. I love it. I can play the piano, I can play the drums, I can do my bass solo, and nothing is in a hurry, and it's a great way to work, and I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. And my voice has never been stronger, and I don't understand.
yeah, I was going to comment on that. Your voice is very strong, which male,
Grace,
female doesn't matter. It's usually when people, start to get older or they've been
the
singing
voice.
for 56 years.
I know, and I'm not a gentle singer. I mean, I
No,
sing, so I'm not going to question it. I'm just saying thank you. The powers that
yeah.
be. Yeah, I'm singing better than I've ever done, and I don't get it, but it doesn't matter. Just enjoy it.
Now, I have to tell you, I discovered you very early on in your career, and you're going to totally know this once I say it. Um, my very first concert that my dad actually took me to was to see Alice Cooper in Madison Square Garden.
I was a special guest. Yeah, we're old friends. Yes, it was a good tour.
Yes. And it was a practice I started back then, and I still do it today. If I am going to see a band and they have an opener that's a newer act, I will always buy the opener's music and familiarize myself with the music so I know what they're playing. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So I had 2 cassettes of yours, and I was so into you. Devilgate Drive, loved it. Interestingly, and I was maybe 12, 13, something like that. I never looked at one of the things you really emphasize in the documentary is I never really looked at it that you were a female and you were like a pinup girl. To me, I was just like, it's a rock and roller. I never saw it that way.
I'm glad that you saw it that way. I, as they said in the documentary, and I say it myself, I don't do gender. I actually don't.
Yeah.
I've never ever once called myself a female musician ever in my whole life. But then it comes up in conversation. You have to say, yes, I was the first girl above it. Okay, but it's not how I see myself. I'm a musician. This is what I do. I'm a rock and roller. This is what I do. When I formed my first band in England, I put out the call for guitarists, drummers, and no girls showed up, but so doesn't matter. But I'm just a non-gender person, I guess.
And also too, look, obviously it's well documented, and anybody that knows that, you were the first one, you were a pioneer. So
Yes.
I never saw it as some, bubblegum put together fake thing. I mean, you were out there
Ever.
playing bass guitar and
I don't.
rocking out.
Yeah, sure. And even if some, I mean, I didn't even notice it if it came by me. I didn't even see it, but it's a no-brainer. I was doing what I do. I was a real musician playing rock and roll. End of story. There were a few idiots out there, then who cares? There's always going to be idiots.
Yes, that is true. In the documentary, you have kudos from some very reputable people. Alice Cooper, of course, Talking Heads, Joan Jett, who modeled herself after you, Fishbone, L7, Lita Ford, Sherry Curry, Chrissy Hine. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on anything. You have 17 studio albums and a countless number of compilation albums. And you just did an album last year, an album called No Control, that your son was very instrumental in getting you to write it, to do it. Tell me a little bit about that.
He'd wanted to write with me for a long time. And I always want both my kids to make it off their own steam. So I was a little bit reluctant, but he's good. And then finally he came to me about a year and a half ago and he said, I need to write with you now. And I went, okay. So that meant he was ready. So he showed me some stuff. I went, pleasantly surprised. I said, okay, leave that riff with me and see what I can do with it. We went into the studio with 3 demos that we'd written together for the first time. And after the 3rd demo, I said, we are writing an album. He said, we are. It just got serious. It got serious. It was that good. And you could feel it. And Richard said to me, I want to remind you who you are. Pardon me, I grounded him then. But he did. He did. And when I look back on it now, he grew up watching his mom on stage doing what I do. So he is, in his mind, fixed. This is who Mom is on stage. This is who she is. So he kind of pushed my Suzi Quatro buttons, and off I went. He restarted them. It was fun. Not that I gone away from it, but he pushed that original kickstart, so fantastic. And all I said to everybody, the engineer whose studio we used, and Richard, I said, now that we know we're doing a series album, I don't want to push anything. I don't want to push let's try to write one of the, no. Try to sing, no. Each song is going to happen as it happens, organically, and we'll let it have its own voice. And the critics went nuts on this album for that exact reason. It's me all the way through, but it's me today. And it's everything I've learned for 56 years now. So that's what you get on this album. And now we're writing the follow-up because the company took up the option.
What's home for you? Is home Australia or is home England?
No, I'm based in the UK. I'm from Detroit, obviously.
Oh, I know that.
Based in the, I'm so Detroit. Based in the UK, and I'm married to a German man for 27 years. And we have a home in Hamburg, where he lives. I live here. We go back and forth. And we have a little apartment in Spain where we go to. But Australia's kind of like my second home.
Because they love you there.
I've done 37 tours there.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
And congratulations on being married that long.
Oh, I was married 20 years to my first husband. He was just here, actually.
So you guys, I figured the two of you still got along because he's so prevalent in the documentary.
We're fine. He was the star of the documentary. Everybody loved him in that.
Yeah, he's good.
He brought a real, what's the word? A real sense of humor and a good overview. I told him today, I said, you did real good in that. He was quite pleased with that. I said, you did really well. He talked good. Everybody loved him in it.
Yeah, he did. And then it hit me halfway through. I'm like, this is Suzi's documentary, so they must have a good relationship.
Yeah, sure. We're fine.
If he's in there, which is great. And, congratulations on, the 20 years, which is really great, and 2 beautiful kids out of it. And the second marriage, I knew you were remarried. I didn't know it was 27 years. That's That's a long time. Good.
I guess I like being married.
Well, and I guess they like you too, and it was interesting because you talked about in your first marriage that you thought long and hard about leaving and getting divorced because you were Catholic and you wanted to make sure it was the right
We had two
thing.
kids.
Yeah.
That's the worst part, is that you have two little ones, but it was over. But we're still good friends. I'll always love them. That doesn't go away, and it shouldn't go away.
The documentary is so touching how when you left Detroit and you went off to England and there you were in this place and you were just, lonely and you were just, but the whole time you stayed determined.
Absolutely.
And something else I just want to circle back real quick is something I noticed in the documentary, and this really shows your true colors, is that all that old footage and even later footage, at times where you were being filmed and yeah, you knew a camera was there, but you never knew if this stuff was going to see the light of day. You never walked around with this cocky attitude. You never were like me. Like you could see you didn't take shit if somebody crossed you, but you seemed very grounded. You were nice to everyone. You would just never got this whole rock star attitude.
I can't see the point of that. I'm happy that I have that attitude. My father always taught me that this is a profession, and that's how I treat it. And also, I never played the looks card. I never played the sexual card. Never played the female card. And also, I have an ego room in my home.
What is your ego room?
It's up on the 3rd floor. You'll love this. It's up on the 3rd floor. You have to go up 2 flights of stairs and then go down this crooked corridor. You can nearly hit your head, but you finally get to a big wooden door. It's a heavy door. Big, heavy door. And I had a plaque made. And it says, "Ego room, mind your head." Shut up. And you go in there and it's everything Suzi. There's the "This Is Your Life" red book on the table. There's everywhere. There's pictures. There's clothes. There's cassettes. There's scrapbooks. There's CDs. There's bass guitar. Everything from every inch is filled up with Suzi. And it's the most peaceful room in the house. Isn't that strange? And this is the important part. So if I have to go up there for anything, maybe I have to look for some research or something, or watch an old DVD or whatever. And the important thing is I go up there, do what I have to do, and I come out and I close the door. That's the important part. That's the ego room, and I come out and I close the door. That's how I feel about Suzi Quatro. Okay?
So you leave it there.
Huge. Yeah, she's huge. She's a big part of me. She is me. But I don't have to live her off the stage. It's stupid. It's just stupid.
Why even back, when you were younger, especially when you were having the kids, you said, "Look, I want to be Suzi mom." Your husband had said to you, "Don't get all momsy on me," and you were like, "But I'm a mom."
I didn't like it. No, I didn't like that. But I have all the same desires everybody has, but that is a huge part of my persona, and I will be Suzi Quatro to the day I die.
You've sold what? Over how many records have you sold? Well over
55 million, and we're still
55 million. That is unheard of.
It is. Not bad for the girl from Detroit, eh?
Not bad at all from the girl from Detroit. And it's all about longevity and that you've had. Now, I want to ask you about when you were over in England, because you seem to have very few regrets, if you want to even call them that. And you had said when you first left, like you did your first tour, like you knew it was like leaving everything behind. The sacrifice that was involved in that. And you were over in England, and Thanksgiving came, and your dad asked you if you wanted to come back, and you said no, and they sent you that tape recorder where everybody, your sisters were talking trash about you, and that had to be so rough.
It it had to go in the documentary. It's also in the movie. I'm making a movie of my life now. That particular tape was pivotal to me. I don't know how I survived that. It just broke my heart.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot. So
survive it, I did. That's the point. Survive it, I did. I couldn't understand it. I still don't now. It's horrible, but nobody can tell me the reason why this was done. Don't know. I haven't got the answer myself. But the funny thing is I saw my parents numerous times through the years, and I had plenty of time to ask my dad why he sent me that tape, and I never asked him. That's going to be discussed in the movie dialogue, because I don't know why I didn't, but we're going to delve into that. Maybe I didn't want to know the answer.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Maybe I was afraid that had hurt enough and that I didn't want to hear anything more painful. Maybe that's why.
The name of my, well, first, let me do it in order. I was so happy when you made it to Happy Days, because I'm like, see, now America knows who she is.
And they did.
Yeah.
They did. They might not have got Suzi Quatro right away, but they certainly fucking got Leather Tuscadero.
Yeah. When I ask people now, I'm like, you know who Suzi Quatro is? And they're kind of like, oh, no. I'm like, Leather Tuscadero. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And America is the only place in the entire universe where that happens.
I know.
Everywhere else is like, you did Happy Days? So they're not even aware of it.
Yeah.
You know? Oh,
yeah.
You did? Oh, yeah. And I kind of remember that. But in America, so it doesn't matter who kicked down the door, because it was either Suzi or Leather, were both the same person.
The name of my radio show is called Rock Hard with Jay Conroy. So at some point last year, one of my guys was sitting in the room. He comes in, he goes, I got the perfect song for your show. And he starts playing Rock Hard. And I said, that's Suzi Quatro. I'm like, they're like, Suzi Quatro, and the same thing, okay? Yeah. Now, that movie, or that song was featured in the movie. Do you know, Suzi, I saw that being shot.
Oh, wow. That's a coincidence.
Total mistake. Well, total right place, right time. This is when Times Square was really seedy, 1979.
Yeah.
And I was on my way to the subway, and it was just all XXX movie theaters, nothing there, drug dealers, stuff like that. And I'm like, they're shooting a movie on top of this marquee. So I hung around and I watched it. I had no idea what it was. And then when the movie finally came out in 1980, I said, hey, I saw that scene being shot.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Isn't that great?
Yeah, just pure, coincidence. All right, before we go, you don't have many regrets, but you really did talk about regretting not having more of a childhood because you left so early, and not being able to have, and you said you would just give anything to have one more day with your parents. And this is sort of a three-parter. The most important thing for you seems to be you want to be validated by the ones you love the most.
Yes.
And that seems to be the most important thing to you.
It is. I'm very family orientated, and everybody that knows me and loves me says, stop talking about it. Get over it. You're old enough now. But if I harden myself to not care, I will not be the artist I am anymore. And I'd rather stay this artist because it's a valuable person. So that's always going to hurt. I'm never going to get it. I accept that. Never going to get it. But I've said it. I've gone on record. The whole documentary was to put the record straight. I've gone on record. I've opened myself up. I showed you my vulnerability. I cry every time I see that scene, the one where he says, what would you say to little Suzi? Oh, I lose it. But
Suzi, I cried. So there you go.
There you go. It touches people.
It does. You are like the whole movie, like your documentary really there. And then when that came up, I was like, wow, and I had tears in my eyes.
Good. That's my cycle complete. If I know I've touched somebody with that, then that makes me happy,
The whole movie touched me. The whole I keep calling it a movie, but the whole documentary touched me, and I was so happy, and I am so happy for you. I'm so happy you're still rocking. Again, this was like a thrill for me. I was like, Suzi fucking Quatro? Are you kidding me? I'm like, when I got the email back, I was thrilled. I said, oh my
Good.
God, I'm going to talk to Suzi Quatro. So you're a legend. You're a
Okay.
total rock and roll
Excellent.
legend.
Excellent. Thank you. And be happy.
I will, Suzi. Best of luck to you. Be watching.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.